Be me, that Alpha Master of Operations. Hackran, things are going absolutely terrible. All our plans for decent sized distractions have not gone as planned at all. Absolutely no idea why. Not only that, but we've given our position out in a trade for information about enemy leadership. Wasn't a good trade. Sororities are stalking the sewers, removing our main supply route from being used efficiently. Decide enough is enough. Hydra Dominatus is called that for a good reason. Activate various sleeper agents to assassinate the enemy leadership. Send orders to infiltrators in orbit to stealthily disable as many weapons as possible. Have 5 headhunters sent into the tunnels. Our Stormbolters cannon will kill these annoying sororities and have the Gloriana class prepped for flight. Something it hasn't done in at least 5,000 years. We're going to get the fuck out of here in a blazing storm of fire, with a distraction or without. Be newly promoted Captain Thorn. Spent the last few weeks crusading within the same system that housed the galaxy's greatest shithole of a planet. Imperial Fist presence has only increased in the sector due to how many foes we have encountered. Chapter Master is even considering having the Phalanx enter the system due to how much shit goes on in the system. Decision will probably be made sooner when they take into account the news that the planet has an Alpha Legion and Gene Stealer presence on it. How the fuck does this planet keep getting everybody's attention is far beyond anybody but the Emperor by this point. Needless to say, my commander is eager to engage in our rivalry with the Alpha Fags and decides to withdraw all Imperial Fist forces. Come to think of it, just about every other Space Marine force in the sector is heading back to the planet. Plan by this point is to just drop down and start a massive sweep of the only safe location on the planet. Here we go again to deep strike. B-Scar. Briefly feel the problem child connect to the family's psychic network to summon the aid of his brothers and sister. Problem child is learning to love the family, slowly but surely. He knows how helpful they are. Feel more of my children. The Brood Brothers. Attack a strong foe. A trained soldier. She is good at what she does, and manages to fell many Brood Brothers and 1 or 2 first generation hybrids, now grown as if they'd been alive 10 years. However, more than a few brothers responded to the problem child. This was a large portion of the Hobo Brood Brothers, the unwashed masses that I can infect by the truckload. Though skilled with a gun, she is unable to deal with an enemy that can afford to lose as many men and women as her guns can hold ammo. The Brood Brothers pull her to the ground, and I stalk from the shadows towards the fallen sister of battle. Her defiance as she is held down, not by the strength of the Brood Brothers but by their sheer numbers, is adorable. She screams and tries to bite my tongue as I give her this kiss and welcome her to the family. Luckily, I have learned from the problem child and grown protective chitin over my tongue. Lol. Adaptation. Be me, Primaris Sergeant Jara Notorious. The captain just came back, along with the rest of the command squad. Fucking watch either spis.png. Make sure to give a captain some space. As I ask Librarian Virulus what happened, it seems that in all the recent confusion, a cell of Alpha Legionaries managed to infiltrate the planet. Are you fking serious? JPEG. No wonder the captain was so livid. Apparently he's planning for the inevitable, a dark crusade. God Emperor, I only wish I could protect Olga from it all. Thank my brother for the information, and decide to go for a walk to clear my head. First it's Gene Stealer cults, and now it's bloody Chaos Space Marines. Be Sister Charlotte. Finally finish up my gross sewer work with my sisters and the supporting Red Templars. Actually not bad guys for Space Marines. A little pious, yeah, but pretty realistic too. Very careful and precise. Can almost see what Olga sees in Space Marines. Cannot see what Space Marines see in Olga. How do you even fuck a Space Marine? Aren't they way too big? Fuck, a Space Marine fucking Olga must look like an orc trying to wrestle a squiggoth. Grosser than Tyranids, by a bit. Finally be done and be ready for a break. After I get showered and everything, suddenly there's an order that we all need to be screened for an infestation or something. Especially those who were on sewer duty. Just fuck everything. B Colonel, return to our landing site, which has been fortified well now. Good war. Pithhelm, some sisters are here. Some of those medic ones ask what they're doing. Jenna Steeler screening. The fuck are they? Vox A. Leave the crazy ladies to their work and talk to my commissar who isn't a duplicate. Tell him why we're still gonna be here for a while. Weird shit's going on. Like 2 commissars who look the same here. Funny little roars outside and Lasgun shots. What.jpg walk out and see some of those termagants things attacking our line. Get boys in firing lines to repel these tiny bug things. First rank fire. Lasgun firing lines were successful and killed all the damned bugs. Need a smoke. Vox go find an iho stick to wind down and then I might go to bed. Be one of the final PDF boys left. Me name's Johnny. Been soldiering for a good long while. Can hardly believe I'm still holding on. Almost got eaten. Got my leg blown off twice. Almost got cut in half by one of those big red reams, but I can make it through. Even managed to avoid getting mauled by a big bug. Like a bunch of my pals did. I'm sure nothing bad can happen now. Enough has happened. BZZRT directive received. Grab my longless and head to the roof adjacent to the Commissar's Bane blade line. Wait, Hydra dominates. Along the way, I make a stop by the Sororitas field base. See if I can't talk to Olga for a short while. Unfortunately, they've sent her out and about on some sort of mission again. Fuck my life.png. On the way out, I spot one of Olga's comrades. Charlotte is her name. Decide to go and see if she hasn't seen Olga recently, or failing that, if she has any insight as to a good gift to get her. B. Sister Maria, I would like to say that I feel no fear, that my acceptance of my inevitable demise shields me against such weakness. And normally, that would be the case. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared right now. The Palatine has led us into the Gene Stealer infested tunnels in pursuit of her peer in the Golden Light, who went missing some hours ago. I'm certain she's a strong warrior, but even Astartes risk their lives against Gene Stealers, especially in such close conditions as these. We hope to find her either alive and well, or dead. The alternatives are unpleasant to consider. As we enter a subway station, I hear voices. I look towards the source and see two figures, one with a very distinctive accent. I feel relief and begin to signal the others. Brother, brother. Suddenly from the other end of the station, figures charge toward Palatine Sarah, humanoid, but marred by the grotesque hand of the alien. The auspex in my helm lights up like a starry sky as more creatures emerge from the gloom. I have time for but one word. Contact. Be me, loyal member of the Bishop's holy retinue. Protector of the great bishop and his wife. Saved them from death more times than I can count. Don't think I actually can count. Didn't learn that I'm on my break. My other loyal Breathisinums are doing the job. Most holy, grab my flask from underneath the bef. Now's a good goddamn time for a drink. Hold the flask to my lips. Directive received. Drop the flask on the ground. Put my armor back on. Gear up with my weapons. The guard changes now and the bishop will be safe in my hands. Hydra dominates. Be Palatine Sarah draw as I hear footsteps. They're here for him. Take my first shot at the traitor. I don't miss. But he knows that. Holds his axe as a shield as he runs. My headshot bounces off the tough metal. Take a shot with the second gun and hit him in his tyrannid plated chest. He stumbles but keeps running. Wheel around as autogun fire rips through the transit station wall. A couple shots catch me in the breastplate. A dozen cultists. It would be poetic if I hadn't wasted 2 of my shots. Fire 10 shots through the skulls of 10 cultists. Dive behind one of the pillars. The last 2 advance on me. Unfazed, draw icebreaker and fling it at the one leveling his rifle. Buries itself in his throat. I know the feeling. Rush the second she fires a stub pistol at me, but I cover my head with my arms and let the shots bounce off. Harmlessly smash her in the face with a gauntlet fist. More cultists coming in, unarmed. Lesser ones. They try to dogpile me. Thrash around with power armored strength, breaking arms and jaws, but there's too many of them. Hear a giddy hiss. The one real Gene Stealer in the pack pushes through. Punch it right in the nose, but 4 cultists put their full weight on my arm. It puts its mouth over my head and tries to ram its tongue down my throat. Can hear bolter fire and roaring chain blades down the tunnel. Bite down hard, but it does no good. Blackout. B. Scar. See more heavily armed human females charge into the tunnels. Fishing, depositing seed in the downed sister who was chasing problem child, and jump to the shadows as the sister cough and sputters, seemingly trying to vomit away the gift. It will not work. Smile. Watch as my children stop surrounding the now infected sister and charge towards the new set of enemies crawling across walls. Spider-Man. Get behind the sisters and pounce on one, sinking claws through her power armor. Jump away as the others turn and open fire, shouting their short prayers to their foolish god. Dodge shots and flames and such as I jump towards my children. Take glancing shots as I jump behind the charging horde of my children, returning to the shadows. Alien ninja. Be me. Inquisitorial Crusader Dietrich Wegstein could slay some Xenos right now, but my new boss let me here guarding the repaired cathedral and watching over the faithful, while she and the other acolytes have fun. Maybe it's because I dared to suggest that enslaving Xenos and collecting their tech is reasonable for an Ordo Xenos Inquisitor, but her interest seems a bit too enthusiastic. Now I stay here as shepherd for the faithful. Well, could be worse. Den Schwarzenzem Schuts den Starkenzem Trutz. Night stuff. Also, one of the guards is drinking. What hogwash for a man of faith. By which I mean, his choice and time. Marking on the bottle is from some local booze company. Probably tastes like piss and that at work. Real men enjoy a crude beer while their hands are still bloody from battle at the feast and then stay dry until the next battle feast. Which you can kinda go around by fighting very often. But you don't get this from me. Understand. Also, from my position I get inspired by the statue of the Canonus they made here. Good to know what you are fighting for. PNG. Be Dratha. Be the last crasher. The problem child. Be stumbling out of a doorway. I have reached the surface. Finally. GIF. Reach down to my body. Pull hand away. Slick with blood. Darlin managed to hit me. Wouldn't expect less. But judging from the gunfire down there, she won't be chasing anytime soon. Still, I'm not one to give up a good head start. Start moving through the streets. Looks like this place was abandoned after the battle. Ruins. Slated for reconstruction and rebuilding once that damn bishop gets around to it. Lucky me. Still, hear alarms around the city. Seems something really is going down. Echoes of engines. No doubt patrols. Need to get off the streets. Find somewhere to hold up. Smell smoke on the air. Turn towards it. Above the rubble of broken buildings. See a smokestack. Clearly active. At least it's warm. Start moving towards it. Dashing from cover to cover. Hunger seems satiated. Can't shake the feeling of some pleasure coming from it. It disgusts me. But I can worry about that later. Right now, I need to keep moving. Be Servitor Controller Petricius and Juris Margos Constanostro love controlling the mindless bumbling servitors. It's nice knowing you are in power over thousands of minds that move to your every command. They are very dumb though. Obviously. I only wish that I could use the gun servitors more. Haven't been in a good fight in a while. Directives received. I'll leave my post and head towards where the Margos is. Gun servitors in tow. It is time for a change in leadership. Constanostro needs some time off. He needs to go swimming with the fishes. Hydra Dominatus. B. Marcus. Okay, so it's been a weird week. First of all, the gene stealers are still here and up to their usual tricks. Infecting people, breaking equipment, starting riots, instilling fear into the hearts of men. The usual. That's not strange though. We all knew they wouldn't be gone so easily. We're not that lucky. It's why we're all on the buddy system now. No, what is weird is that we keep noticing more of these Bloodraven guardsmen popping up. At first we just thought they were simple thieves, but after we noticed that our horde in the supply shed was getting bigger, we started considering that they might be telling the truth. Although the truth was even less informative or helpful. All we knew was that these weird guardsmen and PDF were showing with these distinctive sets of armor and no idea how they got them. And whenever we grilled them, they would start getting these weird headaches. We couldn't make heads or tails of what was going on. Didn't need to though to know that it was bad news. So now we've been going around, looking for more of these weirdo guardsmen, dragging them away, beating them and nicking their stuff like a bunch of muggers. Totally the weird out. Man, this is getting out of hand. We need to tell someone. Perhaps it's time we gave Morgensen a call. Be me, Ekelshiaki youngster bishop. And the emperor must want me to burn everyone. This planet has countless guardsmen, sisters of battle, and every space marine in the sector. And yet I can't even take some downtime. Clean the dishes. Cinderella.mp3. Between all of those forces you'd think they could have wiped out the Tyranids while I turned this planet into a paradise. I wanted to relax. I deserved some luxury. My birthmark is gone. My destiny is supposed to be over. I wanted to be rich. Maybe even get a little fat. Not, like, gross fat, rich fat, classy fat, cultivating ass. GIF. But no, I've got to go back out there. I attend to the scans of the PDF and my zealots personally, and by attend, I mean I personally set fire to the infected, and those who sheltered the infected, and those who tried to avoid the scans. Get turned get burned. Voxcast. Broadcast a speech on tyrannids. How to spot them. How to kill them. How to hate them. Litany of hate. Scripture. I leave the PDF to the governess and call the rest of my zealots to me. This time I wasn't going to stop until everything that wasn't faithful to the emperor was on fire. Be me guardsman Randy. Directives received. Me and 15 other guardsmen have assembled at random warehouse 456. No idea why, just felt like it was right. Suddenly, the floor opens up and some guys drag 2 boxes out of the ground. One has Blood Ravens themed guard uniforms in it, the next has Blood Ravens themed lasguns, and the last has chainswords with weird symbols on it. Put them on if I was ordered. Chainsword goes onto a special slot on the back. Basically invisible. We all walk towards the church where the canoness has set up camp. I think it's time the canoness was relieved of her duty. I'm sure she'd enjoy being a Centu Hydra Dominitus. Be me, Morik Avalon, 2nd Company Captain for the Broken Shields. Myself, along with 20 other brothers, have decided to make our way down into the city sewers after receiving intel on the possible location of an Alpha Legion cell. We've been down in the muck for nearly an hour searching through both sewer passages, as well as tyrannid carved tunnel networks. If and when we find the nids, we slay them to the last. That's 6 different Genestealer cult outposts we've dealt with, along with several other actual nests. My only equipment is the Eratiatech power sword in my hand, a relic known as Amaterasu, a power sword that is quite literally on fire. Also have my cool II pattern bolt rifle at my side. But that's not as cool. I swear when we find those traitors, they are going to wish they were dead. Librarian Virulus says that we're getting close to something. I hope he's right. Be Colonel, after those bugs tried to attack our lines, just been doing fuck all. Might as well get my little shits trained and ready. Firing exercises. Anyone gonna wander around to find some live targets? Be Palatine Barbastella. Existence is a nightmare from which I am unable to wake. Sister Maria found our wayward Palatine in the subway, hale and hearty, yet as soon as we found her, the Genestealer and its brood descended upon us all, and all I could do was watch as it forced its tongue down her throat. The accursed thing has quite the sense of timing. As we struggle to keep the beasts at bay, I hear the sound of tearing ceramite. Look round to see Sister Victoria sliced in two, the Genestealer's grin glinting in the flash of bolt of fire. It sinks back into the darkness as my sisters turn on it, and they hit only air. But it is not the only creature more comfortable in the shadows than the light of day. I whisper a command into my helmet, and my vision is lit up in shades of lurid green. I see it crawl across the ceiling, dropping behind its disgusting brood. Thinking itself safe, I fire an incendiary grenade into the underbarrel launcher on my bolter, and watch as the tunnel it and its brood lurk within goes up in blue flames. I charge across the station and grab the recumbent Sarah, then order a retreat, but not before I tell Maria to plant a couple of meltabombs on the tunnel wall. As we leave, she collapses the tunnel behind us. We're going to need to get to the surface fast, and I don't intend to make it easy for this beast to send us to our deaths. And I have a plan. Be Palatine Sarah come back to consciousness slowly to the close sound of gunfire. Open my eyes surrounded by Sisters of the Black Sepulchre. They're in full armor, keeping cultists back with chain spears and bolt guns lighting up the dark. Someone propped me up against the wall. A sister is standing over me. She's wearing a helmet, but I know from her posture and the source ward in her hand that it's Barbastella. Can't remember anything, but I also know that means can taste the slime in my throat. The faint voices in my ears that scream louder every time one of the cultists is killed lean over and vomit on the floor. Barbastella leans back a step to avoid getting it on her boots. Look back up at her, can almost see the solemn look through her helmet. The same one I'd be wearing. Lift my hand and tell her to wait. Reaching for my belt, pull out a tiny vial of a thick red liquid. She nods in understanding. The tears of the Emperor scraped from the eyes of a weeping statue on Ophelia 7, a powerful weapon. Anathema to creatures of the warp. Seen a splash of it melt a herald of corn, and also, it is said, able to cure the faithful of any disease. Not sure what it would have done to the traitor, but he missed his chance to find out. Uncork the vial, toss my head back and gulp down the whole thing. Bottoms up. Beat Arguil. Last night Lord of the 83rd been working for the Alphas, indebted or something. Can't remember. Alphas are planning something big apparently. Again, I'm supposed to go spook some important corpse worshippers. Sick of these guys and their missions and their teal blue. When this goes down, I'm getting off this rock. Ave Dominus Nox. Midnight Blue Ink. Be me, Captain Marek Avalon. During our search of the sublevels and sewers, Brother Jeremus spots something moving in the distance. One eye activated rune later, and my helmet's lens zoom in. Targets, multiple. A closer look shows them to be humans. Some guards, some civilians, and that's one big gene stealer. Shit, that's the Patriarch, and it's captured a sister of battle, shoving its tongue down her throat as well. We all know what this means. Silently motion for my brothers to quietly take up positions as we get nice and close. Assholes don't see it coming when it happens. Brothers are Lavosh and Brandon quickly loaded frag grenades to their underbarrel grenade launcher attachments before firing them at the Patriarch. Boom. Hollow. My brothers and I quickly open fire upon the infected humans, as well as the Genestealer Patriarch. Quickly activate the flames upon Amaterasu, as I take pot shots with my bolt rifle, one-handed. The flaming 6-foot blade is like a candle in the darkness. Come and meet your end by my blade, foul Xeno scum. Be Dratha, be the last crasher, the problem child. Making my way downtown, walking fast, hauling ass, and I'm weary. Figure that Darlin isn't going to be following me, but even out here in the wrecked industrial sector, the city is on watch. Thankfully there seems to be some confusion going on inside the city. In the back of my mind, I know it's an uprising. I feel the urge to join in the mayhem, but I can't. No, not yet. Come upon the refinery, sneaking through a busted wall. Seems largely automated. All the better. GIF. It's really hot though. Sweating my fething balls off in here. Just one more thing to worry about. At least I can curl up in here for a bit. Get some rest. Try to clear my head. Just need to find a nook to hide in. Just need to keep going a little further. At least my wound isn't bothering me anymore. Not sure if good or bad. JPEG be us. Headhunter kill team designation Lambda Auspex and intel shows Sororitas being pushed back by Tyrannids. Enemy of my enemy. Alpha however, large squad of Chad Marines is patrolling the lower hive far away from the sisters, attempting to clear the nest's plant camouflaged mines on their direct approach path. Then ask HQ to send for the Night Lord, we'll need him. Fuck Chad Marines all start running toward the Sororitas, attempting to save the day very well. So be it. Circle around to the tunnel underneath the current raging battle. Set melter bombs. It's time for everyone to take it down and not be the distinguished Asensio Gilberto Corazon I. Rogue trader extraordinaire, though I doubt if ever you will be given the opportunity. Still waiting at the matrimonial cathedral. The Electrazide canoness said she would return soon, but I think she may have forgotten. No matter, as I found a very pleasingly proportioned sister Dialogus who was more than willing to help me pass the time. But the second hour of our new acquaintanceship is interrupted by the sound of an explosion within the cathedral. My bodyguard, Brother Salvador, comes into the room as I pull on my trousers. Someone has breached the church through a side entrance. Tell the lovely sister to hide as we move into the hallway. What look to be guardsmen in red uniforms fire lasguns at us from down the hall. Salvador fires booming shots from his bolter in response and they scatter to cover. Keeping behind my crimson fist friend, I draw my plasma pistol and return fire. Be Captain Thorn. After a day or two in the warp we finally arrived back to the planet. Shit has already started going downhill with the Genestealers already causing an uprising. Also hear reports of guardsmen with Blood Raven themed patterns moving across the city. Alpha Legion fuckery senses tingling. Gene Seed. Commander decides that sweep in no longer necessary and order everybody into their pods as part of a coordinated effort with the other newly arrived Marines. My company is assigned to head to the governess's mansion to secure it in case of the Alpha Legion or Genestealers attempt an assassination while the other fists purge the city. Kinda felt bad for breaking the governess's stairs, but that was swept aside when we heard gunfire in the building. Not this shit again. Fist. Be me, Lich Guard. Actually called Menkork, but not that it matters. Originally served a minor lord from this planet's tomb. Lord is now destroyed. Stepped on by giant Krork war machine. Then turned into a particularly large Krork's hat. Why he told me to stay back before trying to fight the war machine in close combat is beyond me. Honor or something like that. It was hard to tell what he was saying over the sounds of combat and the constant autistic screeching of the Krorks. Been an unknown number of days since that happened. Now I'm lost in some sort of catacombs over the now ruined tomb. Not really sure how I got here. Been a bit lost due to my lord's destruction. I don't think the cryptex that programmed the lich good loyalty routines planned for us to outlive a charge. Still, I have enough self-awareness to survive the bullshit that has started to become their norm for this world. There's weird bug things running around down here along with humans. Bugs ignore me if I stand still, but the humans start screaming and shooting at me. Dispersion shield reflects their attacks back though. Even after millions of years it never gets old. Stop hitting yourself. PNG. As I gingerly step over the bodies of the latest mass suicide, something explodes nearby, knocks me off my feet. Now face down in a fleshling's guts. All I want to do is find an exit. I miss being asleep. I hate organics. Be me. Jara Notorious. Primaris Sergeant. Shit started hitting the fan up here, and the captain is still in the Undercity ruins. Thankfully, I'm here, along with the rest of my recently arrived squad, assisting with the defense of the Sisters field base. Half the city is in an uproar, as both traitor guards screaming Hydra Dominitus as well as those directly with the Genestealer themselves have begun slaughtering and killing indiscriminately. We are thankfully holding our positions, as we allow civilians into the area. We're the angels of death, but civilians have a certain place in the hearts of my chapter. Hopefully Olga and the captain are alright. The original commissar wake up to the sound of everything going to shit again. Can feel unbridled rage when I hear a few of the new fag guardsmen decided to roleplay as that one group of stormtroopers who joined the Magpies and rebelling. Not sure if it's Alpha Legion fuckery or just weird cosplayers who got infected by gene stealers or both. Though for some reason the area around the banner blade is quiet. Too quiet. Something is not right. Vox. Future me decides to test a theory and gets some wood in the banner blade, makes a cross out of it, attaches a spare commissar helmet and coat to it, opens the hatch and sticks the dummy out of it. The fact that we could hear a ding followed by the cross turning into charred cinders gives us the idea that somebody wants our brains blown out. Oh shit. Scholar. Decide to move the banner blade elsewhere and secure the hatch while informing everybody about assassination attempts. Decided to head to the cathedral to check on the sisters and use the banner blade to get them to the governor's mansion. Arrived to find out a bunch of those magpie cosplayers are shooting up the place with the sisters and 20 of those huge ass marines from before fighting them off. Typical Wednesday. Balance. Be Dratha. Be the last crasher. The problem child. Be in the refinery. And boy is it hot. Search for someplace to rest is so far futile. Every nook I locate is was too fething warm to relax in. I just want to sleep. GIF. There are servitors in here, doing their tasks. I stay away from them, but I don't think they even have the brain power to do anything if I'm spotted. Can't help but think that might be me if I let those Imperials catch me. I'd rather a bolt please. JPEG. The alarms outside are all but drowned out in here. I guess no one wants to fight over slag and other melted down metal. Who knew? GIF. Be moving along. Spot a group of servitors all moving towards a location. Wouldn't really care, but then I noticed something. One of them was carrying an item. I recognized this item. Start following their little trail. See them hauling shit towards a massive furnace. Seeing where it goes, I follow it back to the source. I find a pile. I recognize the pile. It's the dead traitors. All of them, gathered here, no doubt to be burned away. The sisters would approve. GIF. See the remains of Sanctified, and notice that none of the PDF that they recruited are among them. Figures they wouldn't care about the littles. All the corpses of the Marines are being taken apart and hauled into the furnace. I make my way towards it. I never did get a chance to say goodbye. Be me. Jara Notorious. Ever in the same boat. We're finally starting to push back those bastard traitors when we spot it. That's a fucking Baneblade. Cree. Wait a second. That's a good thing. As the traitors start fleeing in droves, I and my squad make our way over and hail over the Baneblade. Of course it's the fucking commissars, both of whom are trying to cosplay as Yerick. Force them to let me use the Voxcaster on their bannerblade to hail the Strike Crusaders, Protector of Man, and Vigilant for Remorse. Have them begin preparations to deploy aggressor suits and a repulsor tank. My face when we make sure there isn't a single heretic or gene stealer left upon this world. Fabulous in this armor. JPEG. Beta Gwil. Last of the Night Lord's 83rd. Wandering the Undercity. Endless dark tunnels. A surprising amount of corpses. Reminds me of home. The infiltration armor the alphas gave me is a little plain. Smear under city grime anywhere that might glint. Plunge by hand into a xeno corpse and run it across one side of my helm. That's a war face. Notice most of the corpses have bolter-sized holes in them. Silent running. Exa. Turn corner. Whole squad of sororitas running down corridor. Feth. Nostromo. Flash helm lanterns. Jump out. We have come for you. Ogre. Run away. Some runes flash on my display. No idea what they say. I can't read the alphabet. Whatever. I have coordinates too. Hear the stomping of some massive metallic arsehole a few corridors over. Go the other way. Try not to run into anything else as I make my way to the surface.
Okay guys, look, I know I'm a bit slow with these here stories, but like, I really am trying to get it back onto like, a weekly schedule, you know what I mean? Like, look, I would say for me, like, the Cold Shoulder has to be one of my all-time, like, favorite. It's not even a story thread, it's like, a role-playing thread, but it's fucking outstanding. And like, look, how long is it? I started doing this back in, what, like, April? Like, how many months was that ago? That's like 7 months. And you guys are still here, I think that says, like, that speaks wonders of how good of a thread this actually is for people to still be here, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, it's part 16 for God's sake, you know what I mean? But, no, all I can say is, no, thanks for staying. I quite enjoy it. I really enjoy the story, and, like, you guys clearly enjoy it as well. So, look, we'll get there eventually. The next video will be the end of thread 3, and then we've still got a couple of threads to go. And I'll try and get them hammered out as quickly as I can just to, get it done, because it has been dragging. If I had done it weekly, I think I would almost be finished by now. But look, we'll get there. Don't worry, it's coming. It's a-coming. Though I feel like I don't really need to say this soon as we are on part 16 of a multi-part like, some of the parts can be over an hour long video series. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe and click that notification bell to stay up to speed. Or, like, just have a wee food about and check out some other videos. You might just enjoy them. But anyway, look, boys, I'll talk to you later on. Alright, enjoy.
If you haven't already, check out my Redbubble portfolio. You might just find something you like.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back. And it's way down heavy on me, and it's not okay. Can you help a nigga out and just stop this? Please?